7 vans made this list because they keep running long after the warranty stops covering the bill. No filler, no guesswork. Just the machines that owners trust years past the point when the manufacturer stops paying for mistakes. Number 7 first. Number 7 is the Mercedes-Benz Metris. It doesn't get talked about like a typical minivan because Mercedes never marketed it like one. It's smaller, boxier, built more like a cargo hauler wearing a nice interior. But that's exactly why it earns a spot here. The Metris shares its drivetrain with commercial vans sold across Europe for over a decade. And that engineering has already been stress-tested in fleets that rack up hundreds of thousands of miles a year. Here's the conflict. Mercedes dealerships aren't cheap, and once the warranty ends, some owners panic about repair costs. That fear isn't unreasonable. Parts can run higher than a Toyota or Honda, but the actual failure rate tells a different story. Independent mechanics who specialize in European vans consistently report that the Metris's 4-cylinder turbo engine and transmission hold up far better than expected, especially compared to larger Sprinter-based platforms. The real weak points are minor: sensors, small electronics, things that are annoying but rarely catastrophic. So owners who do their research end up with a van that feels like a luxury product but drives like a workhorse. That combination is rare. Most companies pick one lane. Mercedes accidentally built both into the same vehicle. Number 6 changes the conversation completely because it's not a niche pick. It's one of the best-selling minivans in America, and yet almost nobody expects it to still be running strong a decade after purchase. Number 6 is the Honda Odyssey, specifically the later Elite trims. Honda's reputation was built on smaller cars, but the Odyssey inherited the same philosophy. Keep the engineering simple, keep the parts durable, and don't chase unnecessary complexity. The V6 in later Odyssey generations is one of the most proven engines Honda has ever produced, and that matters enormously once the factory coverage disappears. But there's a wrinkle here too. Earlier Odyssey generations, particularly ones with a 9-speed automatic transmission introduced in the mid-2010s, developed a reputation for rough, shifting, and occasional transmission hesitation. Honda quietly revised the software and hardware over several years to fix it, and by the time later Elite trims rolled out, most of those issues had been resolved. That's the detail almost nobody checks before buying a used one. The lesson buried inside this pick is bigger than the Odyssey itself. Model year matters just as much as brand reputation. A badge doesn't guarantee reliability by itself. The specific version you buy can completely change the outcome after the warranty ends. And the next van on this list takes that idea even further because it comes from a brand nobody associates with luxury at all. Number 5 drops us into Kia territory, and if that name still makes you think budget brand, you're already behind on what's happened over the last few years. Number 5 is the Kia Carnival, specifically the SX Prestige trim. Kia rebuilt its entire reputation on the back of vehicles like this. Long warranties, upgraded materials, and a level of fit and finish that used to belong exclusively to Japanese and German competitors. The Carnival doesn't look like a minivan at all. It's styled more like a crossover SUV, which is part of why it sells so well to buyers who wouldn't be caught dead in something labeled minivan. Here's where it gets interesting, though. Kia's long-term reliability data is still younger than Toyota's or Honda's, simply because the brand's serious reliability push is more recent. That creates a real question mark for buyers thinking 5, 6, 7 years ahead. Owners obsessing over that gap sometimes miss the bigger picture. The Carnival's V6 engine is a proven unit already used across multiple Kia and Hyundai models for years, and its transmission shares architecture with vehicles that have already logged high mileage without major failures. So the risk isn't the drivetrain. It's smaller things, infotainment glitches, sensor errors, the kind of stuff that's annoying but rarely a 5-figure repair bill. That distinction matters enormously once you're outside of warranty and paying out of pocket. Number 4 takes a hard left turn because it's the only vehicle on this list that runs on a completely different kind of engine altogether. Number 4 is the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid. Chrysler doesn't have a spotless reliability reputation, and plenty of owners will tell you that outright. But the hybrid version is a different animal from the standard Pacifica, and almost nobody outside dedicated forums seems to know why. The hybrid uses an electric motor to handle a huge share of everyday driving, especially in stop-and-go traffic. That means the traditional transmission and combustion engine simply work less. Less strain, less wear, fewer miles racked up on the parts that usually fail first in a normal minivan. Mechanics who service hybrid fleets have noted the same pattern across other hybrid platforms for years. Lower engine wear translates directly into fewer major repairs down the road. There's a catch, obviously. Hybrid battery replacement is expensive if it ever becomes necessary, and that scares a lot of buyers away before they even look at the data. But most Pacifica hybrid batteries are proving far more durable than early skeptics assumed, largely because the system was engineered conservatively rather than pushed to its limits. What connects Kia's warranty gamble and Chrysler's hybrid gamble is the same underlying idea. Reliability isn't only about brand history. Sometimes it's about smart engineering compensating for a shorter track record. And the next two vans on this list prove that idea even further, because they come from the two brands everyone assumed would dominate this entire ranking from the start. Number 3 is where a lot of viewers expected this list to start, not arrive this late. Number 3 is the Toyota Sienna, specifically the limited and platinum trims from the 4th generation onward. Toyota made a controversial move when it dropped the standard gas-only engine option entirely and made every Sienna a hybrid. A lot of longtime buyers were nervous about that switch. Hybrids felt complicated, felt like something that could fail in expensive ways once the warranty disappeared. That fear turned out to be almost backwards. The hybrid system in the Sienna is essentially the same architecture Toyota has used in the Prius and RAV4 hybrid for years, refined through millions of real-world miles before it ever showed up in a minivan. Fleet data and independent repair shops keep landing on the same conclusion. This drivetrain experiences less mechanical stress than a traditional engine-transmission combo because the electric motor absorbs so much of the workload during acceleration and low-speed driving. There's still a wrinkle, though. Some early 4th-gen units experienced minor infotainment software issues, and a handful of owners reported inconsistent panel gaps from a stretched production ramp-up. Neither of those problems touches the drivetrain, but they do explain why a small number of reviews skew more critical than the actual long-term ownership data supports. Once you separate the annoyance from the danger, the picture gets clear fast. This is a van that, statistically, becomes cheaper to own the longer you keep it, which is the opposite of what most vehicles do after warranty coverage ends. Number 2 takes us somewhere most Western audiences barely think about, and that's exactly why it belongs this high. Number 2 is the Toyota Alphard, sold internationally and treated in several markets as a full luxury flagship van, not a family hauler. It's the vehicle wealthy buyers in parts of Asia choose specifically because it signals status while still being practical enough for a driver and passengers. Here's the twist nobody expects. Despite the luxury badge and price tag, the Alphard shares major mechanical components with more ordinary Toyota platforms already proven for reliability across the brand's global lineup. That shared engineering is deliberate. Toyota rarely builds an entirely new platform just for a low-volume luxury model, and that conservative approach is precisely why long-term owners report so few catastrophic failures. The one legitimate concern is parts availability outside its core markets. Owners in regions where the Alphard isn't officially sold sometimes wait longer for specific components. But mechanically, the platform holds up as well as anything else on this list, maybe better, because Toyota built it to be shown off for a decade, not replaced after 5 years. What connects Sienna and Alphard is almost poetic. Both prove that hybrid systems and shared platforms outperform expectations. But the final position on this list belongs to something entirely different, a van built with no compromise at all. Number 1 isn't a surprise pick once you understand what it actually is, but the reasoning behind it might be. Number 1 is the Lexus LM. This isn't a minivan with a luxury trim slapped on top. It's the only vehicle on this entire list engineered from the ground up as a true luxury flagship, built on the same underlying platform as the Alphard, but pushed further in every direction. Better sound insulation, reclining captain's chairs, materials chosen specifically for buyers who could afford literally anything else on the road, and chose this instead. Here's the part that changes everything. Lexus built its entire brand identity around one idea. Take a proven Toyota foundation and refine it until the flaws disappear. That's exactly what happened here. The LM shares its core mechanical DNA with vehicles already tested across millions of miles worldwide. But Lexus added an extra layer of quality control specific to its own manufacturing standards. The same standards that made the ES and RX2 of the most dependable luxury vehicles sold anywhere. There's a catch, though, and it's not mechanical. It's financial. The LM's price tag rivals a small house in some regions, and buyers understandably wonder whether that premium translates into anything beyond comfort. Independent long-term ownership reports increasingly say yes. Owners keeping detailed maintenance logs report remarkably few unscheduled repairs, even after moving well past standard warranty periods. And the failures that do occur tend to involve minor electronics rather than anything connected to the engine or transmission. That's the quiet truth sitting underneath this entire ranking. The vans that survive the longest after warranty coverage ends aren't necessarily the flashiest or the newest. They're the ones built on platforms that were already trusted before luxury badges ever got attached to them. Metris borrowed from commercial vans. Odyssey leaned on decades of Honda engine simplicity. Carnival and Pacifica hybrid proved that smart engineering can outweigh a shorter track record. Sienna and Alphard showed that hybrid systems age better than anyone expected. And the LM proves that even at the absolute top of the price range, the same rule still applies. Borrow what already works, then refine it until it barely resembles where it started. If there's one thing worth remembering after all 7 of these, it's this. Reliability after warranty rarely comes from a brand's marketing. It comes from an engine, a transmission, and a platform that already earned trust somewhere else first. If this kind of breakdown actually helped before your next purchase decision, that's exactly why this channel keeps digging into the details other reviews skip. Stick around for the next one.